On today's podcast, I want to talk to you about celebrating yourself ahead of time. So, I want you to think about something that you're going to do. So, for me, I use this when I'm creating content. So, right now, I'm creating a podcast episode, but I've already decided and celebrated myself ahead of time that this is going to be an amazing podcast episode. I also do this when I host live calls. So, when I am hosting a live call, I decide ahead of time, like, no matter what happens on the call, even though it hasn't happened yet, I've decided that I did an amazing job. And so, what this really does is it helps us take the action. Because I want you to think about it. Sometimes we kind of do the opposite of this, which is, let's say you're trying to write a book and you're like, oh, it's going to be terrible. I don't know what to say. It's going to be so hard. No one's going to ever want to read it. What we're doing is, instead of like celebrating ourselves ahead of time, we're like tearing ourselves down ahead of time. Like we haven't even wrote anything yet. And our brain's already telling us it's going to be terrible. And so, what I want to encourage you to do is actually do the opposite. Start thinking, this book is going to be so amazing. I'm going to write the words and it's going to like sound so good. People are going to love this. People are going to want to read it. It's going to be put together so well. I know exactly what to say. Because when you change that thinking ahead of time, then it's like, oh, of course, I want to write my book. Versus when you're thinking like it's going to be terrible, no one's going to read it, and all of that stuff. It's like, oh, why would I want to write the book if it's going to be so bad? And so I want you to start practicing celebrating yourself ahead of time. Think about the thing you want to do and start telling yourself how you're going to do a great job, how it's going to be amazing, how it's going to work out, how it's going to be fun. And then start taking the action from that place. I'm creating a course on how to create commitment. And if you want to get on the wait list so that you're the first to know when this course launches, then go to createcommitment.com and sign up for the wait list.